Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Absolute Astronomy, the podcast where we discuss space things, because space is cool, so let's talk about it. Sorry this episode's being released a little later in the week than I hoped, but I've got some very exciting news. I was able to act out my favorite scene from 50 Shades of Grey, the one where she gets a job right out of college. What do you think it meant? I mentioned a while back that I was doing an internship in Toronto, and they actually hired me on as an official assistant editor. Yay! That being said, my shift is from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. 5 days a week, so trying to juggle that, my sleeping schedule, and this podcast is proving to be a little tricky. That being said, I'm going to be trying my hardest to record episodes over the weekend so that for each Monday there will be new episodes. This past weekend I was in the process of moving home from college, unpacking, repacking, and moving back to Toronto. So anyways, enough about me, let's start things off with a twist.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to This Week in Space Talk, where we discuss what's making headlines in the space community. You've heard of people running marathons, but have you heard about them doing one in space? British astronaut Tim Peake ran the 26.2 London Marathon this past weekend strapped to a treadmill aboard the International Space Station. Peake was the first British ESA astronaut to be launched into space and has been up there since December and preparing for this marathon for quite some time. Located in the station's Tranquility node, the high-tech T1 treadmill is just like any ordinary treadmill that you find at your gym, except this one's got to deal with microgravity. To simulate Earth's gravity, shoulder and waist mounted harnesses are attached to the person to ensure that there's enough pressure to make running possible. Running for a long period of time sucks in general, but imagine doing it with all that extra gear strapped on you. The treadmill aboard the ISS isn't just for entertainment or the occasional marathon. It's important for astronauts to spend around 2 hours every day working out to make sure that the damage to their muscles and bones caused by the lack of gravity is as minimal as possible. Peake also broke a world record, completing the marathon in 3 hours and 35 minutes. The previous space marathon record was held by astronaut Sunita Williams, who completed it back in 2007 within 4 hours and 24 minutes. Not to mention, Peake also did this on his day off. I don't know about you guys, but I like to spend my days off in my pajamas watching Netflix, but hey, to each their own.
Climb over. We'll go slow and high tempo. Light and dark. Hold me hard and mellow. I'm seeing the pain, seeing the pleasure. Nobody but you, body but me, body but us, bodies together. I love to hold you close tonight and always. I love to wake up next to you. I love to hold you close tonight and always. I love to wake up next to you. I love to hold you close tonight and always. I love to wake up next to you. So we'll piss off the neighbors in a place that feels the tears, the place to lose your fears, yeah, reckless behavior, a place that is so pure, so dirty and wrong. Ain't no better day, better day, better day. Fucking and fighting on, it's a paradise and it's a war zone. It's a paradise and it's a war zone. My enemy, my ally, prisoners. Then we're free, it's a thin line. I'm seeing the pain, seeing the pleasure. Nobody but you, body but me, body but us, bodies together. I love to hold you close tonight and always. I love to wake up next to you. So we'll piss off the neighbors in a place that feels the tears, the place to lose your fears, yeah, reckless behavior, a place that is so pure, so dirty and wrong. Ain't no better day, better day, better day.
Welcome back. That was the No Sleep remix of Pillow Talk by Zayn. Asteroids, meteors, comets, oh my! I recently just watched The Wizard of Oz, so that just kind of stuck with me. We've got countless number of these guys floating around in space, so it's time to slow them down and take a look at them. Asteroids, meteors, and comets are often grouped together because they're basically all the same thing. Small pieces of rock or ice that aren't part of a major planet. We've discussed comets before, but it's been a little while, so let's recap, shall we? Comets are composed primarily of ice and dust. As they approach the sun, they begin to speed up and solar energy begins to heat the ice and vaporizes it, resulting in a bluish-colored tail. Sometimes the gas flies off the comet so violently it's enough to break apart its nucleus. Each time a comet passes closer to the sun, it loses more and more of its ice. Eventually, after many trips around the sun, the comet likely won't have enough material anymore to form tails. Its surface will then be covered by dark dust and it will look more like an asteroid. Comets come from two places in our solar system, the Kuiper Belt and the Oort cloud. As we mentioned last week, the Kuiper Belt is a region just outside Neptune's orbit which is home to all sorts of icy objects. It's a reservoir for the short period comets that we see. The Oort cloud is a spherical halo of comets surrounding our solar system at a distance ranging from 2,000 to 50,000 astronomical units. To put that into perspective, one astronomical unit is 150 million kilometers. These are where the long-term period comets come from, which I guess makes sense seeing as it's pretty freaking far away. The Oort cloud is believed to be leftover particles from when the sun and planets first formed, with there being approximately 2 trillion objects within it. Asteroids are small rocky objects in our solar system. Like snowflakes, no two asteroids are the same. They have unusual shapes because they have experienced many collisions and don't have a strong enough gravity to pull themselves back together into a sphere. Also, going back to last week's episode, the dwarf planet Ceres was once considered to be the largest asteroid in all of our solar system. The smallest asteroids we've observed are only tens of meters in size, but there's also a great number of even smaller rocks floating around in space that are currently too small for us to detect. Many asteroids orbit the sun between Mars and Jupiter in the infamous asteroid belt. The belt is home to numerous irregularly shaped bodies and minor planets including Ceres, Vesta, Pallas, and Hygeia. Jupiter also has its own little asteroid belt around itself containing what are known as the Trojan asteroids. If you can recall December 2004, and I was 9 years old at the time, so I don't actually remember this, but there was a brief period of concern regarding the near-Earth asteroid 99942 Apophis. Initial observations indicated that there was a 2.7 chance that it could hit Earth on April 13th, 2029. While the asteroid will come scarily close to the Earth, it won't actually hit it. And if it's any consultation, on average an asteroid the size of Apophis only impacts Earth around every 80,000 years or so. And alas, we've come to meteors, aka shooting stars. Meteors are small pea-sized pieces of interplanetary dust that burn up in Earth's atmosphere at high speeds. Meteor showers happen whenever Earth passes through the orbital path of a comet that has left behind a lot of dust. The particles form the meteors as they hit our atmosphere. Occasionally, a small rock will fall through the atmosphere, causing an extremely bright and colorful streak across the sky, which is known as a fireball. These are often mistaken for comets, but unlike comets which are visible for several days, fireballs streak across the sky quite quickly and then disappear. Sometimes fireballs don't get completely vaporized and they impact Earth's surface, and that's where meteorites come from. In case you haven't guessed by now, space is pretty much just a bunch of rocks flying around everywhere. I guess you could say they really rock. No? Oh geez, the segment's ending off pretty rocky. Oh boy, these puns are really hitting rock bottom.
Feeble bones took me to a valuable weakness. There's no comfort in silence, no real violence in words. So I sharpened my blade and bowed my head before I ceased and desisted. Though my stomach was a ball of resistance, I went straight for the course. With burns on the backs of my palms, will I regret my cause or revel in my thoughts? So I'm caught in the winds of remorse, 'cause everybody knows what good is a sword next to a shotgun. What good is a sword next to a shotgun? Next to a shotgun. How could I get stuck in this valiant position? Either I survive for an instant or cradle the earth. My God-forsaken, weak impulse, I knew I had to amend this. Though I never was a force to be reckoned on, a sight to behold. With birds on the back of my palms. Will I regret my cause or revel in my thoughts? So I'm caught in the winds of remorse, 'cause everybody knows what good is a sword next to a shotgun. Next to a shotgun. What good is a sword next to a shotgun? I'm biting the bullet alone. Oh, I know what I'd rather be born next to a shotgun. Am I biting the bullet alone?
Welcome back. That was Shotgun by Gallant. And unfortunately, we've come to the end of yet another episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at @astro_podcast for more cool space stuff and updates about future episodes. Also, be sure to check out the YouTube channel. I'll leave a link for you down in the description below. And as always, if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss, feel free to send me a message. Adios.